good morning or afternoon or evening, I guess, depending on when you're watching this. It is 6 a.m. here ish, a little after 6 maybe. And here we are continuing on our journey, our daily, deliberate journey. To where is a bit hazy. For me, it's just a journey to somewhere else, to the unknown, something I have not yet discovered. But the road there is a beautiful one. Good morning, Aunt Juanita and Madam Wanda. But we are continuing to lay a good foundation to explore the root chakra just a little bit. Our grounding, our connection to the earth, to nature, and the thing that I consider that separates myself, as a human from the rest of nature is just the inherent trust that the rest of nature has in the universe, in nature, to meet its needs and to protect it and to love it and to take care of it. And as humans, we have logic and we have choice, and that is our greatest strength. Well, for me, that's my greatest strength, but also, my greatest hindrance to a deep spiritual connection, it seems sometimes, because a lot of the trust factors are counter logical. I wouldn't say counterintuitive, because our intuition is deep, and I think it is trusting. Everything in nature is a chance occurrence. You look at the oak tree, for example. The number of oak trees, when compared to the number of acorns of potential oaks scattered, is just very small. Everything that we see in nature is one in probably trillions of a chance. We humans, just one of, we had to fight we had to beat a lot of other potential candidates in order to get to here. The acorns that are now oak trees, there were billions of them all scattered in the same space with the same general capability of becoming. But the ones that became had to go down into the earth, into the dark place, away from the direct sunlight, away from the direct sun rays, away from all of its brethren and sistren, and trust that all the things were going to go how it needed to go in order for one day that thing to be able to take root and rise and become a shelter for all the other acorns, a home for the birds, shade, and that trust, it's strength. For me, as I've begun to become more connected, I see how heavily I rely on nature. There are so many functions that go on in my body that if I were responsible for consciously directing them, I'd have been dead, like probably seconds after I was born. Breathing, beating of heart, pumping of blood, digesting and breaking down the food, disseminating nutrients wherever they go, separating waste and disposing of it, blinking, like all of these things are taken care of for me. And not, and one of the major ones that we focus on in this meditative thing is breathing, just learning to look at that process over which we have no real control, not for very long. We can stop it, but, hold our breath, but like it's trying to move. It's not trying to be hindered. It's trying to move. It's trying to keep us alive. It's trying to help keep this machine going. So, my connection to nature is, I'm strengthening that. I am looking deliberately at those things. I'm saying, you know what, there are things that I have taken for granted over the course of my life. Things uh, that are going on that allow me to live every single day, but I just take them for granted. Like I'm a human and I'm just so great, but it's not that. There are powers far beyond my capability of comprehending or understanding or even seeing that allow me to be every day. And so that is what I am connecting to at this stage, at this root chakra stage. I consider those things and I honor and respect my body and whatever forces are making these things happen so that I can continue to live, so that I can get up every day and be thankful, you know? So that is just a little bit on my take on the root chakra. Um, I'll save that for tomorrow. But getting right into it, we just kind of getting the day started, sitting in a comfortable space, in a comfortable position where I feel like I can stay for 15, 20 minutes without fidgeting too much, so that I can get in it. I'm sorry, this morning, my brain's a little jumbled. I went to bed a little late. My son had a concert last night, and everything just kind of got pushed back by several hours. After the after school stuff, dinner, and then everybody got dessert, and the next thing you know, it was late o'clock. But here we are, breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth, looking straight ahead, eyes open, unfocused gaze. Laying the foundation for the day. Determining the direction of this day in a deliberate way. With every inhalation, taking in love, hope, possibility, and good vibrations, good energy. And releasing with every out breath impurities, negativity, negative energy, angry thoughts, sadness, despair, just releasing that with every time we breathe out. And with the next out breath, we're going to close the eyes and return the breathing to normal, in and out through the nose. And as we begin to settle into this space, this physical space, this mental and spiritual space, we take a moment to become aware of our surroundings in 3 dimensions with our eyes closed, the space that we currently occupy with our body. Getting in touch with the physical senses. Feeling the body, the weight of it as it presses down against our seat. Noticing the contact between our seat and the body, between our hands and our lap, our forearms and our lap. If there's a back to our seat, the point of contact there. We take a moment to notice it very distinctly. We notice any sounds maybe breaking the silence where we are. Loud sounds, quiet sounds, near sounds, far away sounds. I notice any smells or aromas that may surround me, as well as any tastes that may be hanging around in my mouth. And for just a moment, taking the time to check in with our body, with our vehicle, with the vessel with which we have been entrusted to navigate this human existence. And starting at the soles of the feet and working our way to the top of the head, just checking in to see how it's feeling today. Not stopping to linger on any space, just noticing how each part of the body feels. Now turning our focus and attention to the breath. Noticing very deliberately that rising and falling in the body. And where do we feel that rising and falling today? High in the chest and the lungs, in the diaphragm? Is it low in the belly? Do we feel it the same place we felt it yesterday? Again, with no effort to control or direct the breath, just observing the body do naturally what it does, constantly, perpetually, unceasingly. And as we transition into that space, we begin the day deliberately with gratitude. Take a moment and search our minds for that for which we are grateful today. This morning I am grateful for those innumerable processes that are going on in my body at all times, none of which I direct actively, but that continue to allow me to live and breathe and be and exist. And I say thank you. And ahead of any thoughts or feelings the mind or body may be able to come up with throughout the course of the day, I intend to set my course, planting intention and affirmation into my active conscious I am healthy and strong in body, mind, and spirit. I honor and respect my body by feeding it that which is life-giving and healthy. I am deeply connected to all of nature and my fellow man. I belong in this world. I love and I trust, and I am loved and trusted in return. I deliberately cultivate a good, strong energy that allows me to create the life I want. And with our intentions set for the day, we return the fullness of our focus, of our attention, to the breath. Again, in no way controlling or directing it, just observing, watching that rising and falling in the body. If it helps to count the breaths in order to stay focused, then just count the out breaths to a count of 5 before starting back at 1. It's perfectly natural for the mind to wander from time to time. But the moment we notice, just pull that focus back to the breath. If the mind has begun to wander, just refocus, recenter that attention on the rising and falling of the breath. And for just a moment, releasing all focus, just allowing the mind to do whatever it wants, to think about whatever it wants. And now returning the focus to the breath. As we return once again to the fullness of the awareness of our physical senses and to the space around us, becoming once again fully aware of the location where we are physically sat, where the body is physically located, and getting in touch with those physical senses, feeling once again the weight of the body pressing down and its contact with our seat, with our hands and arms resting on the lap, with our feet, our legs underneath us or our feet on the floor, hearing the sounds piercing the silence, noticing any tastes lingering in the mouth or smells or aromas in the area. And when we're ready, slowly and gently opening our eyes, but remaining in our position, looking ahead with the same unfocused gaze, bringing all the intention from our meditation forward and letting it set the tone for our day. And that's it. This practice for me has been one of a very deliberate nature. It is not always easy. Some mornings I don't want to get up. Some days I don't feel like doing it. But it is overcoming that very thing that is the purpose of this meditation in general. In large part, there's a life that I am looking to create, a life of meaning that I am looking to find or establish, either way, depending, But a lot of these things are difficult for me to find without overcoming the I don't want to's. Because there are a lot of things that I won't want to do. Many of the things that are best for me, I won't want to do. It's almost kind of written into the nature of humans these days. The search for comfort and safety has kind of kept us indoors and cozy. But a lot of the things that I want are outside of that comfort, cozy, safe kind of space, and I have to trust that I'm going to be okay, that I'm going to be taken care of, and that I'm going to be safe as I continue through life. And this puts me in that space to cultivate that energy that is not shaken so much by all the externalities that are crashing down around me every minute of every day. It's just a life, that I'm creating. All right, well, y'all have a great day. Spread light and love everywhere you go. We'll do this tomorrow.